I'm originally from Chicago, Humboldt Park. My mom was a single mom. We lived with my grandfather. We would move around a lot. They didn't have the best relationship. Unfortunately, he had practiced black magic. When we left from Humboldt Park, we moved to a small town in a suburb close by. My grandfather, grandma, uncle, they lived upstairs. It was a constant arguing. That's why a lot of negative stuff came into the house. He would do everything in his power to try to get us away from my mom, as if he wants bad things to happen to my mom. We always had a weird vibe in our house. My older sister would constantly say, oh, there's someone here. I feel something. There's negative energy. I don't know what it is. That didn't make us feel secure, especially when we had spirits and negativities around us. My mom got pregnant. We moved in with my mom's boyfriend right next to this church in the area where we are. That's when the downfall really happened. My mom would work really late. We would hardly see her. One day she called me downstairs. She said she really needed to talk to me. I was actually pregnant. I didn't tell her because of how young I was, 17 at the time. She's like, oh, I had a dream that your grandpa came into my dream and he said, please be careful. Watch your surroundings. Be careful who you're around, who you let enter to your house. And I thought, okay, she's going to tell me I'm pregnant. Then she starts crying and I'm like, what's the matter? I'm like, oh my God, like she knows that I'm pregnant. And she says, I seen someone. And I said, someone? Like, what do you mean? And she says, I seen a shadow, and you're the only person I'm telling this to. To paint out this picture, my mom and stepdad and little sister, they lived in the basement. There was just one room that was finished. The rest of the basement was really old. And we had originally bought this house from an old couple who her husband had recently died. She felt like it was a man. She's like, oh, maybe it's the man's spirit. He's here, but why does it feel so evil? Back when she saw him, she was in the room folding laundry. She felt a presence looking at her, but there was no one else. Everyone was in school. My stepdad was at work, and my little sister was like 3 months, 4 months old. When she felt this presence, she turned over to look at the first door where the entrance is to the basement. She sees the man in the black shadow. She screams and asks, who are you? What do you want? Immediately picks up my little sister, because at first she said she thought someone had entered the house. Out of nowhere, the man leaves. My mom was like, did I imagine this? Am I seeing something? Am I tired? She stayed in the basement for like an hour. She went upstairs. She checked the dining room, kitchen, bathroom, everywhere. She didn't see anything. This was months later. It was pretty early, 7:30, 8 in the morning. I walked downstairs, laid down, drifted back to sleep. Like I said, it was pretty early. It's really hard for me to wake up. I'm a very deep sleeper. Something heavy was in the presence of the room that I was in. I felt someone was watching me. I look up, and there the black shadow is. People ask me, how does he look? What is he wearing? It's literally nothing. Like just black in the shadow. I was so tired, I just went back to sleep. In 2017, we moved to a bigger house a couple towns down to fit the entire family. My dog, he would constantly bark at the walls or bark at the window. For some reason, my son, every single night he would cry. He would wake up, cry. We would put him on our bed, and we would find him at the bottom of the bed or on the floor. I was slowly starting to think maybe it's the presence of my mom. When my sister was a couple months, my sister was diagnosed with a tumor in her eye. None of us has any genetics of having tumors or cancers or anything like in that nature. My mom was confused. Oh, why did this happen to my child? My mom went to a tarot, or we call them like a white witch, the good kind, not the evil kind. And they had told her there's someone who was wishing bad upon you, your daughter, and my stepdad. So my mom went and did this kind of religion. I don't know what it is. I feel like that plays a part of why negative stuff happens to us, because my mom would try to find the easy road. If it didn't work, go to another religion. I feel like my mom was allowing different spirits to come into our home. The last religion she's in, they would do sacrifices to like animals, chickens and goats and things like that. She would make us go with her sometimes. I would find her sometimes putting pictures up of her boss and lighting up a candle and wanting to wish bad upon him. She initiated me to be in this practice that she was in. I told her, are you sure this is holy? This is what this is for, so I can be closer to God? And she's like, yeah, this religion, this practice gets us closer to God. You wear like these beads around your neck, like different color beads. When I moved out of her house, I laid those beads on the table, and I was not going to take that with me because I'm like, I'm not part of it. So it's like, why are you haunting me or coming after me? Like, you can stick with my mom. Eventually, my sister got better from the tumor in her eye, but negative energy latched onto my mom. When we went to a new apartment a couple towns over, everything was fine. We never fought. My son was great. He was the happiest baby ever. That's when I'm like, maybe it is my mom, because whatever someone put towards her, it's latched onto her. I'm gonna keep my distance. We moved into this apartment nearby. That's the one that I'm in right now. A couple years ago in 2020, my husband decided to go with his best friend to Vegas. It was just gonna be me and my two kids. I asked my sister if she can stay, and help me. I put one to sleep in his room and one to sleep in mine. My sister tells me, oh, I'm gonna go run do something. This was at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I told her, wake me up when you get back so I can sleep with the baby. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll see you, give me your keys, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I fell asleep and woke up in my dream. I look up, that's exactly how I left it. The TV's on, my son's next to me. My eyes are adjusting, and I see the Shadow Man. It's been forever since I seen him. In seconds, he was from the door right next to my shoulder, and he grabbed my shoulder. I start yelling and screaming. I can feel it in my body that I'm screaming. My sister wakes me up, and it's her. She was so scared. She's like, are you okay? Calm down, it's me. I told her, I'm like, oh, there was a man by the door. He was in my dream, standing right there looking at me, and then he grabbed me. And she was like, oh, that's why you screamed? I barely touched you. I was tapping your shoulder for a good minute, calling your name. I asked her, are you sure you didn't grab me? She's like, no, I was just tapping you, like with my hand. I sleep with my oldest son. He has special needs. And my husband sleeps literally just across the room from me to sleep with my youngest son. A couple weeks ago, we were talking, the light was on, the fan was on high. So I told him, can you turn down the fan? I don't know why you have the fan so high. Turn it down and turn off the light before you leave. He says, okay, babe. Turns on the fan, turns off the light. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay. From there, I don't even remember going to sleep. I am in my dream. I see my husband walking out of the door. I don't see his face, just the back of his head and his body leaving the door. I'm screaming, "Babe, you forgot to turn off the light." And then something immediately clicks in my head. Wait, this already happened. I look up, and the minute I look up to the light, it turns off on its own. The black shadow is standing inches away from me. I grab the phone, turn on the flashlight, and I'm pointing to his face. It's all black. He slowly backs up to the corner. I jump up, turn on the light from the string. He's gone. Now I wake up fully and I'm standing in real life, turn on my hand on the spring to turn on the light with my phone in my hand with the flashlight on. I'm looking around. I'm like, where did he go? Where did he go? My son's sound asleep. I turned off the light quickly again, took my phone, went to the other room. The minute I open the door, he wakes up. And I'm like, did you hear me calling you? And he's like, oh, I thought that was a dream. I swore I heard you saying babe, but I felt like I was dreaming because I was falling asleep. So I told my mother-in-law the next day. She's a really religious person. And she's like, you really need to pray. My sister already told me that she had an experience with this shadow man also. This is another sister that experienced it in my house. It's almost the same experience. She was laying in the couch in my living room. She felt something watching her. When she turned around, the man was by the door looking at her. She just turned back around and went back to sleep. When I would talk to my husband about this, he asked, what if it's your grandpa who passed away? I considered him as a father. It can't be him, because if it was him, why would my grandpa hide his face? What does he want? I want to see who this is. Why does this person keep bothering us? It doesn't hurt us. It just watches us. That's the disturbing part. Why are you watching us? Like, what are you trying to gain from watching us? I hope he doesn't bother my kids. I wouldn't want my kids to go through that and be scared. They do have their moments where they're like, well, I don't want to go to the living room unless you turn on the light. My oldest son, if I get up to use the bathroom or if I get up to get ready, he runs to my side. Like, he could not stay by himself. He'll run to the next room to be with my son, my other son, because he would not be by himself. I don't want them to experience anything.